In the dead of night, when the world is asleep and silence reigns supreme, even the bravest officers fear what lurks in the dark corners of their station. The Maple Street Police Station, with its long history and countless tales of the supernatural, is no exception. It was a quiet night at the Maple Street Police Station. The air was thick with an unsettling calm, the kind that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Officer Daniels was working the late shift alone when he heard a faint whisper. It was so soft, almost like a breath, but it was enough to catch his attention. He shrugged it off, thinking it was the wind. After all, old buildings like this one had a way of playing tricks on the mind. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They seemed to be calling his name, beckoning him to follow. Daniels decided to investigate, his curiosity piqued and his nerves on edge. His footsteps echoed eerily as he walked down the dimly lit hallway. Each step seemed to amplify the silence, making the whispers even more pronounced. Suddenly, he felt a cold breeze brush past him, sending shivers down his spine. It was as if the very air around him had turned icy, a stark contrast to the warm summer night outside. He turned around only to find nothing. The hallway was empty, but the feeling of being watched was palpable. As he reached the holding cells, the whispers turned into desperate cries. They were filled with anguish and despair, echoing off the cold, hard walls. But the cells were empty. Not a single soul was in sight, yet the cries continued, growing louder and more frantic. Daniel's heart pounded in his chest. He could feel the adrenaline coursing through his veins, his instincts screaming at him to leave. He tried to radio for backup, but his radio was dead. No static, no signal, just an eerie silence that seemed to mock his growing fear. Then, in the corner of his eye, he saw a shadow move. It was quick, almost too quick to be real, but he knew he wasn't imagining it. He spun around, flashlight in hand, but there was no one there. The beam of light cut through the darkness, revealing only empty space. The cries now became anguished screams, filling the station with an unbearable sense of dread. It was as if the very walls were alive with the pain and suffering of lost souls. Officer Daniels bolted out of the station, never looking back. His mind raced with questions, but his only thought was to get as far away as possible. To this day, no one knows what he encountered that night. The station remains a place of mystery and fear, its secrets locked away in the shadows. But one thing is certain, something sinister lurks within the walls of the Maple Street Police Station. The stories of strange occurrences and ghostly apparitions continue to this day, keeping even the bravest officers on edge. Are you brave enough to find out what? The next time you pass by the Maple Street Police Station, remember Officer Daniels' story. Perhaps you'll be the one to uncover the truth behind the haunting whispers and anguished screams.